How would you survive on just $5 a week? I would not, amateur. You can go to a bank exchange that $5 with pennies and put that money in a sock and assault someone with it to go to jail. You can survive a week with only $5. Why use pennies? Rocks are both free and plentiful. Well, that would be living off of rocks per week. Not $5. Someone didn't understand the assignment. You don't even need the $5 to do that. Literally just punch a cop and immediately surrender in a public enough place he can't beat you to death while you're handcuffed. My mind also went get yourself to jail. My mind also went get yourself to jail. When reading this question, I think I would just try to rob a bank with a plastic gun or STH. If this is your goal, just start stealing from the grocery store. Live free till they catch you. I'd probably use it seconds in to purchase a drink, to think on how I'll survive and then curl up and cry, commit a crime, and go to prison. And you'll have $5 on your commissary. I feel like that $5 isn't making it lol. Honestly the smartest move here so far. 3 hots and a cot. Course it's shank or be shanked. The only winning move is not to play. Depends on where you live. USA. Depends on the state. Some states are good. Some are like, whoa, this is actually pretty great considering I'm a prisoner. And others are just, take me to Siberia already. Asking for a friend water is the best place to go to prison. I'll say from personal experience. Not North Carolina. Not any of the Bible Belt states. Louisiana and Florida run knife parties. That said, go to any prison in America, and unless you're Kimbo Slice jacked, you will get BTF up at some point. With $5 in Argentina we can bought 2 packs of pasta, $1. 2 boxes of tomato sauce, $1. Soya vegan meat 2 pounds, $1.3. Eggs X6, $0.65. 1 pound of potato, $0.50. And some fruit like bananas or apples 1 pound, $0.5 equals $5 vertical bar. I think I would survive with this, eating some pasta with soya in lunch and potato with eggs at dinner per day. But where would you sleep/cook? Wood is literally growing on trees. And starting a fire without matches/lighter/flint plus STEL is a skill a lot of people into wilderness backpacking have. Get yourself metal trash can lid or dumpster diver pot/pan and you're good. Shelter. You can steal a tarp pretty easy from almost any construction site. It's not comfortable, but you won't get rained on at least. For the winter though, your best option is, don't be where it gets cold. Boston homeless in January is a hell of a lot worse than Atlanta homeless. Damn, life is cheap in Argentina. In fact, we have 45% of poverty. Life could be cheap if you are vegetarian or don't consume a lot of meat, because it is expensive to afford every day. Also you have to earn at least $60k pesos, $600 to not be considered poor. And it is infuriating because most of people earn $40k pesos or less. For that reason the 45% of poverty. If you earn in dollars, life in Argentina is really cheap. You come here with $1,000 and, as we say here, te cagas de risa. Easy peasy. Honestly, go to soup kitchens in your area and look for food pantries. Those are there for people going through rough times. As if there is a soup kitchen in my area. People generally don't know about soup kitchens, food pantries, or other aid in their areas. You may truly not have anything like that around you, but you very well may, and have just never heard of it. People don't generally talk about going to these places, and they usually don't have a lot of advertising money to make themselves super well known. The food pantry on my campus is located in the basement of the health center building and most students have no idea it exists. Okay, that's food. Now cover shelter, medications, transport so you can find work, etc. I don't have a single medication I could cover for $20 a month. My least expensive is $85. Transport. As in walking, if you live in a place that has sidewalks, isn't sprawling over miles, maybe has a good public transportation network, survive. You can't. You would be homeless, carless, jobless, spending $5 daily on food you wouldn't last long. Edit. Yes, I realize Op said weekly. I was saying even $5 daily would be close to impossible. $5 weekly comes out to $0.71 daily. Depends on the country and what dollars. American or Canadian dollars in the right country would get you pretty far for a week. The minimum wage in Mexico is about $7 a day and millions of people survive and raise families. On that, you'd live in a shack made from salvaged trash and have basically nothing else. But you'd be in good company. I think that op has every living expense covered apart from food produced. Since asking this question won't make sense otherwise. He'd have no money to get to a shop other than on foot, nowhere to store food, no access to cheap tap water, so he'd need to buy much more expensive bottled water, no easy access to electricity or internet, no safe/dry/warm place to stay, no medicine, no clean clothing or new clothing. The number of answers talking about how people easily could survive on $5 elsewhere are disgusting. It's not a choice for those in such a situation. It's either survive or die. $5 a week is enough for ramen noodles, peanut butter, potatoes, and rice. You can't get them all in the same week. But you can stretch a bit if you're careful and you're not too active. Food banks help. But food banks require gas to get to the food bank, and you have to not be depressed enough to get up and go to the food bank. Some days that's just too difficult. It's easier to stay home and starve. But yeah, it's possible to survive on $5 per week. But it's not going to be fun or healthy by any means. This is true in any country. Fuck this scenario. There is no country where $5 per week is sustainable. Buy a knife with the $5 and start robbing people. Reminds me of that crazy robot from Futurama lol. I knew exactly who you were talking about. But cold no, remember the Namo vertical bar, turns out it has Roberto. Bread and tap water. Don't forget rice. While rice is cheap, where can you find a bag for $5? Aside from something like Uncle Ben's or microwave bagged rice, as those aren't going to last more than 1 or 2 meals. The big bags that will last you months, even if you eat it every day, are still $30 plus. Everybody should be drinking tap water though, even people with $5,000 a week. Edit. That's if your local tap water is potable and safe. Which is true for a lot of us. I live in Flint, Michigan, and even my cats don't drink tap water. You sound privileged. Living in Germany, I totally forget that it's not a common thing. Tap water here often is even better than packed water. I would make coffee at home and stop eating avocado toast. Only if your house is paid off and you have a stockpile of water bottles and a fully gassed generator. Even then it is not enough for taxes. I won't. This guy economics 101. $5 is about 360 Indian rupees. Rice is around 35 per kilogram. Potatoes are 20 per kilogram. Buy 3 kilograms rice and around 2 kilogram potos. Get some salt and other spice, should cost less than 50. Buy onions 40/kilograms, about a kilo. Assuming you have cooking arrangements, you'll easily last more than a week. I speak from experience. $5 goes much farther in some other countries. Staying in the US, you cannot afford to sleep anywhere but the streets or a shelter. You cannot buy food from a grocery store, and definitely not from a restaurant. Get acquainted with charities, food pantry, soup kitchens. The more I think about this, the dumber a question it is. $5 a week is like $260 a year. Nobody can live on that unless you are off the grid. Make your own shelter. Hunt/gather your food and live in a climate that is consistent all year round. Nobody can live on that unless you are off the grid. Make your own shelter. Hunt/gather your food and live in a climate that is consistent all year round. You just answered the question. Please point at the spot in the US that is both neither dangerously hot or cold at any given point during the year, free from natural disasters, and that you could hunt and gather freely without breaking any laws. Theoretically there are some area that fit the climate part, but you are going to have a much harder time on the last part, and that is before we even get into the number of people with the prerequisite skills to do so. No one can. A long time ago, when things were not as expensive as they are now, I took a cut in hours at my job. I sat down and figured it out to the penny. And I had an extra $10/week for entertainment. That meant rent, food, utilities took up every other penny of my paycheck. And I had $10 to go to a movie or whatever. And I scoured my city. I found out which days the museums were free. I started using the library. I met friends for coffee instead of dinner out, and I walked just about everywhere I wanted to go. And it was not easy, but I managed. And even managed to spend very little some weeks, so I could splurge the next week. But it was not easy at all. I really don't see how anyone could survive on $5 a week. I'd pull myself up by my bootstraps and invest those $5 into a Windara spicy chicken sandwich and then jump off a bridge. This comment is a roller coaster. Damn. 1. Pay someone $5 to drive me to the food stamp office, not just for food, but also a free phone. Once I am done there, I am off to Walmart. 2. Grab a bunch of small very expensive things from the Macu pile and throw a heavy ass case of water on top to hide it, then go through self-checkout, scan the water with the gun, don it, move it. The small expensive Macu items can be returned without a receipt for a refund that will be put on a Walmart gift card which can be used at the Walmart gas station. Note, if you are feeling brave, you can skip leaving the store with it and just take it straight off the shelf to customer service for a refund. 3. Next, I find a way to the hospital and tell the doctor I am having a panic attack so bad I cannot pay attention to my aching back cause my depression is distracting me. 4. Sell pills. 5. Use connections made from selling scripts to find a high-paying job. 6. Call whoever gave me that $5 and tell them they can have it back. Easy. With $5 I would buy a hammer. Doesn't have to be a good hammer. I would walk into a store and attempt to rob it. When the police came, I would surrender peacefully. From there I would proceed to jail to collect my free meals, bed and electricity. Would it be fun? No, but I would survive. Rice, eggs, bananas, pack for cheap ham and tap water. Easily done in the UK. Earlier in the year I experimented with how little I could spend in 1 month and still eat well. I have a Brita filter for tap water. I'm 6 feet 190 and weight train 4x week. $130 for all of April, and that was cutting it. Bulk chicken, bulk eggs, oatmeal, bananas, bags of apples, peanut butter, rice. Those frozen bags of eggs you microwave went on sale, and I loaded the freezer. I tell ya, I've kinda kept that up and feeling great. Top ramen, peanut butter and bread. Buy Flint, go live in the woods. Return to Monk, change it to 500 pennies, and beat someone with it. 3 hots and a cot for a few years. I'd buy milk, flour, and vitamin so vertical bar, boil them down into little energy balls. It could sustain me for weeks. Ramen, buy a knife and rob someone. Easy. The secret ingredient is crime. Buy a case of water, sell them for $1 a piece and repeat. Use to actually do this. You need to plan your trips to include everything you need in a line. Walk where possible. Meal prep is key. You need to invest less than your total into building up a pantry with things that have multiple uses and use your leftovers. Rice, lentils, peanut butter. To mention tea bags, these are the holy trinity and everything else is just add-on. Eventually, you will get to a point where you are getting fruits and veggies and occasionally restocking the essentials. Use some of the money you save to get spices. Boring food is death. You will also need to stay away from meat for a while. That shit is expensive and prone to be spoil. You don't have money like that. Natural light is your friend, and so are your windows. Use them, bitches. Candles are also great. Makes bath time seem romantic. Buy second hand on sale days. Look for stuff that again will have multiple uses and is quality. Yes, you can find it. Occupy yourself. Take up reading. Spend time in nature. Meal prep is a time killer in and of itself. Lol. Take time to enjoy life. This will help so much. Honestly, most of our inside time and tech time takes time and uses electricity, so you will want to develop a low-tech alternative. If you don't have access to cheap/free tech, invest yourself in a small, convenient part-time job to assist in earning more income. It does not hurt to make professional connections and boost your value/resume as an employable person. Best of luck. Theft. Lots of it.